Hey Sagittarius, I'm Chi and welcome to Luminance Tarot. I am new to YouTube and I'm going to be doing a reading for you for Aries season. And I have a new to YouTube special down below that you can check out. I hope that you will appreciate this reading and it will provide you with some good clarity, guidance, and upliftment. I'm just going to start shuffling here, and I was connecting to you and I feel like feel a little sparkly. You guys have a sparkly charismatic energy that we all so enjoy. And just connecting to our guides, our most benefic guides, angels, ancestors, and teachers as we bring in clarity, guidance, and upliftment for Sagittarius through our wonderful season of Aries in 2018. I read with the Deva deck. It is a 5-suit deck. The 5th suit is the Triax, which is ethereal, which I think you all are going to really appreciate. I will explain them. I'll explain them as they come up in your reading. And all right, I think, there's somebody who wants to talk about some things. So, they're going to come up. The first card that came up is the 9 of Discs. So we might be talking about business. The 5 of Triax inverted. This is what it looks like upright. And this is what it looks like inverted. Talks about pulling in strength, resilience, spiritual resolve. Fives are challenging cards because they often indicate our path converging, meeting, conflicting with another, or something it seems out of balance or challenging. So it's the resilience to work through that. And this is a great card for you, the Knight of Triax. This card talks about how we influence and are influenced, how you take in ideas and when you don't. The Sagittarius people are really interesting to me because you tend to have your own independent and distinct moral code. And people may or may not understand it. People love or hate it, gravitate to it, or are repelled for it. And you're very okay with that. And it's beautiful, but where you get into trouble is when you don't stay open at the top, when you're not listening. You want to be totally your own person and still receptive and discerning. So that would be, I think, a good way to put it. So let's see how this story is going to unfold, shall we? I could get okay, I won't talk about my little production issues, okay? So next up, you are trying to make some decisions and there's a lot of options and you're feeling, you're taking in a little too much information in a way, or you're bouncing around in your head too much and you can't come to a conclusion. And if you're having a phase where you're not listening to folk, if you're not taking in input, because this card is all about communication and interaction, taking in and giving out. That it's a very equilibrium of giving and receiving, listening and speaking, the blending of ways. And you're gonna strike out and not get what you can, not make the most of it if you don't listen to other folks. You really need to allow for input. You collaborating is the way. You're in a very coming into a balanced place. There's a lot. This is our Hierophant, but that's why you don't want to listen, because you feel like you're being asked to overstructure, play with more rules than you want to play with. And this time it really benefits you. You're going to find a freedom. If you can, you're going to find a freedom in the context. If you could stop looking at things from, that's a rule, you're trying to give me a rule, I don't do rules, I don't do If you could think about it instead as the bowl that you have, if you want to have cereal, it needs to be in a bowl to hold the cereal, or whatever you want to put in the bowl, but without a context to hold things, to hold the content. All content, everything needs, I know you might not like the word boundaries, but everything needs its place and its space and its balance. And you're here to keep it moving, to keep it growing, to keep it honest. You know, you're not here for false restrictions, rules, oppression. And that's great. That's great. You break energy up and you keep it moving. And left to your own devices a lot, you're floating around in space because you don't allow for any context. And if this is people coming, if it's people coming at you, if this is like a Gemini, Aquarius, Libra person, then reining them in might be a necessary thing. All right, this is coming out. Ooh, have you been on that I need to be alone thing? Have you been doing that? You guys do that sometimes. And I respect it, because you're going into your higher chamber, and it's really elusive for everyone around you, and you have to respect that it's hard to understand. It's hard for people to process. You just, in respecting it doesn't mean you have to change this thing about you, but you are about love and connection and communication. And a lot of times this is a great Sagittarius card, because this is prime Sagittarius energy, because you are so great at bringing everybody together, keeping things moving, creating community, and then whoop, you gotta go. People feel like it's complete and you're whole and they can rely on you, and then kaboom, you ghost. So I would say what's up with that, but I know what's up with that. That's how it is. That is Sagittarius. Now, how can we make it work? How can you be yourself and be in loving community? How do you modulate being who you need to be and being there for others, or letting others know that you haven't, like, how do you this is, and it's not just a right now question, it's a life question for Sagittarius, because you need your time and your space to yourself. This was a self card, but what are you coming out of? You've been working through a lot of like karmic relationships, a lot of really good memories, and excavating, hopefully some healing of trauma, respecting of trauma, processing of trauma in the way you've been looking at relationships, letting people off the hook, taking accountability for your part. That's good. And what's coming at us in the next few weeks? Ooh, you know, this is good. These three ladies are very hard. Plus this guy. Maybe you need to surround yourself with more people like you. Maybe that, or you're getting good at getting around people that understand you. Because this lady too, she needs time on her own. You're ready to get inspired. You want to figure this out. You want to figure out how you come down the mountain with your wisdom, and how you go back up the mountain without breaking up your community and keeping, and if it's work, how to not be overworked, how to make sure there's time for yourself and time for you to regenerate. Yeah, let's see what else is going on in our hopes and desires. You're really, it's beautiful. You're wanting to break out of this cycle. This Six of Triax is inverted, is self-perpetuating emotional pollution. It's not spiritual pollution, but what it means is that your spiritual essence and inspiration and guidance, your spiritual essence is getting tangled up in your emotions, and it's the karma, the connections are resented, feeling heavy, feeling like too much responsibility, feeling like boundaries, burdens, rules, etc. And you're not wanting that. We're going to talk about that some more right now. How do we shift this energy, this cleaning up? Woo! Don't hurt nobody now. And there, yeah, okay. So this came off to me as people you're affecting. Your brain going in circles and circles and circles like this is making you crazy, making them crazy, causing a lot of this indecisive energy. And what this kind of goes with this guy, because the Two of Cups, isn't it precious though? I love this. Is my favorite Two of Cups of so many decks. But when she's inverted here, she's talking about like the energy is not confined, and that is what's smirking up this karmic connection, because the energy, it's not monogamous, and maybe someone wanted a monogamous relationship, or if it's we're talking about love up in this little corner, but the ongoing cycles, you gotta break this cycle, and I respect that you're working on it, but this cycle has to stop for the juicy goodness to come through. This person's this Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, most likely female person's energy is, their love is so rich and deep, and they can go like right up in this swamp for all the richness, and focus on what the relationship is not, instead of the bounty of what it has been, which frustrates you. And how are you really showing up and communicating about it? You can't just want people to want to understand with you because you get it and you don't have to say any words. You're going to have to use your words. You're going to have to use your words, Sagittarius, in a very gentle way, and be honest about it being a work in progress, and be honest about the part of you that always feels elusive, that's not going anywhere. It's not you don't want to feel like somebody's trying to fix you. I get that. So what are we in for as we wrap up Aries season? What's coming up? This is great. This is the Six of Discs inverted, is very much about making good, productive, shows up as results that everyone can agree with energy. And it's this reading makes me happy. Scorpio made me happy too. This reading is happy. This is our wish card, our Nine of Cups. I like this card a lot because if we look at it in the sense of a tree of life, it is this free, it is the flowing, it is temperance, which is the major arcana for Sagittarius. It is that equilibrium everywhere. Each part of, you're spiritually inspired, and each part of your life is nourishing the next part, and that is fantastic, and it is showing up in your reality. So I think we got to conclude it. So that all this to say, in My readings are a little more contemplative than predictive, but on a predictive level, anything that you're working towards, once you move through, if there's team players involved, get honest, tell people what you need, the space you need, how you can show up, what you can really deliver, and you will find a lot of success that you can like materialize success and fulfillment. If we're talking about love, kind of the same thing. It's that you are in a space of creating a lot of happiness. You do need your time alone. It's about how you use your words. Your words are powerful. These relationships, this time is karmic. We only have one major arcane in this reading, which is cool because it means you're kind of humming along for a minute, which we all need because it's been challenging, I'm sure. And you're in a space where you can really create what you want and manifest your desires and do it with other people. Everybody can come out happy. Everybody can come out happy. This can clear this up. But you got to be honest. You got to be honest. And you're going to have to make some adjustments, but it's totally going to be worth it. You know that. You know it. You just don't like the idea of not all 100% your way. So I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Tantric Dakini Oracle, and I'll read from the book for them. I wanted to finish introducing before the jumper came for us. It's that one and this one. All right. We got self-created, death, transfiguration, and totally bananas. The ending of things, I'm reading for death, pardon me, transfiguration. The ending of things is previously known, the breaking of ties, the death of the old self, paving the way for regeneration and enlightenment, the removal of fears through confrontation, the awakening of spiritual awareness, possibly through a traumatic event such as illness or through deep inner realization, the reconciliation of opposites, abstraction or a state of inertia that require a change in outlook. Death is as the door to the beyond, the post-death states, a bardo, an intermediary psychological condition. Change through transfiguration and the realization of new opportunities. Number 35, as above, so below. This is very much a heart card, indicating an opening of the heart center and the subsequent refinement of the emotions. A favorable card. What else do I need to share? In the two worlds of above and below, it mirrors itself to form a single unity. As has been attributed to the emerald tablets of Hermes, the supreme alchemist. That which is above is that which is below, and that which is below is that which is above. For performing the miracles of one thing, thou shalt separate the earth from the fire, the subtle from the gross, gently with much care. It ascends from earth to heaven, and again descends to earth. So receiving this strength of both superior and inferior things. By this means you will have the glory of the world. Because of it, obscurity will leave you. Woo! That was deep. 55, totally bananas. The release of latent energy, but not without conscious knowledge of how to direct them. Turning the world of appearances on its head, an unconscious fantasy, the joke of existence, and the realization of the ridiculousness of all things. It's great. On the tip of the banana, representing the revealed libido, two figures are standing together on their heads as if they were the fruit of the tree. These figures represent the world of fantasy, where by reversing the life energies within the body, a new alternative dimension opens up. It also represents a return to primal ideals. The large banana appearing here like a totem of the ritual enacted by the two figures. Ooh, that was kind of deep. Got a lot of good changes going on, Sagittarius. I hope that it resonated for you. Please comment, like, subscribe, tell me what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. We got a little woo-woo in that reading. And I hope that you will hang out with me more on YouTube. Have a beautiful spring, Sagittarius.